Welcome to my YouTube channel Modi Mechanical Engineering Tutorials. So today in part 2 MCQs on lathe machine. So let us start with the first questions from lathe machines. So the body of the tailstock can be adjusted by clamping with the help of option A bolts, option B plates, option C bolts and plates both, and option D none of the mentions. So basically in the case of the body of the tailstock which is clamped onto the bed with the help of bolts and plates both, fix the tailstock onto the bed of the lathe machines. So the option C bolt and plates is being used to clamp the tailstock. Then next question. The upper casting of the body can be moved from the operator. So the option A towards, option B away, option C towards or away both, and option D none of the mentions. So for the operating of a lathe machines, the upper casting of the body can be moved toward or away both from the operator. So both the adjustment or can say movement is required to performing the operations onto the lathe machines. So for these questions answer C towards or away. Both the kind of movement is being required according to my operations. Then next question. Offset of tailstock is done for. So the option A taper turning, option B straight turnings, option C both the taper turning and straight turning, and D none of the mentions. So basically offset of the tailstock which is used for performing a taper turning operations, not for the straight turning operations. So according to these questions, offset of tailstock is done for taper turning operations. So here option A which is indicating the taper turning. Then next question. Realign of tailstock center is done for. Option A taper turning, option B straight turning, option C both taper turning and straight turning, and option D none of the mentions. So as we already discussing into the third questions, offset of tailstock which is used for the taper turning, and realign of the tailstock center which is used for performing straight turning operations. So according to these fourth questions, realign of tailstock center is done for straight turning operations. So the offset is used for the taper turning and realign of tailstock center which is for the straight turning operation. So option B. Then next question. Question 5. Which types of rotation of the handwheel causes the spindle to be drawn inward? So basically for inward movement of the spindle with the rotation of the handwheel, so that will be which kind of rotation is being required. So option A anti-clockwise, option B clockwise, option C either anti-clockwise or clockwise, and none of the mentions. So the important part is drawn inward. So basically it will be require either clockwise or anti-clockwise movements. So for inward motion of that particular spindle, the rotation of the handwheel that will be anti-clockwise. So according to that movement of that particular components, so that will be requirement of the anti-clockwise rotations. So with the help of anti-clockwise rotation of handwheel causes the spindle to be drawn inward. Then next question. Headstock is a flexible unit. Option A, which is true. Option B, false. So basically, as from the discussion into the construction of lathe machines, if you want to learn in detail, so you will find a link in my description for construction and working of lathe machines. So basically, according to that requirement, or you can say utilization of headstock, which is a rigid member, so that will be not a flexible member. So here the statement is headstock is a flexible unit, which is false. So option B, false. Then next question. Which of the following is supported by the headstock? Option A, spindle. Option B, spindle bearings. Option C, speed change mechanisms. And option D, all of the mentions. So basically, headstock, which is the assembly of all the control units, so that will be having a spindle, spindle bearings, speed change mechanisms, or you can say all gear mechanisms, which is control the rotation of that particular spindle. So according to these questions, all the spindle, spindle bearings and speed change mechanisms, that is a part of headstock. So which of the following is supported by the headstock? So here spindle, spindle bearings, speed change mechanisms and all of the above. So these three options A, B and C, that is the supported by the headstock. So according to these questions, the answer is D, all of the mentions. Then next question. Which of the following method is used to vary the speed of lathe spindle? Option A, gear out. Option B, gear in. Option C, both gear out and gear in, and none of the above. So for controlling the speed of a lathe spindle, both the gear out and gear in mechanism is being used, or such kind of methods. So that will be easily controlling the speed of the spindle. So according to these questions, the answer is both gear out and gear in, which is required to vary the speed of the lathe machine. Then next question. Which of the following lathe parts serves as a housing for the back gear, driving pulley, etc.? So the option A, tailstock. Option B, headstock. Option C, bed. And option C, none of the above. So basically, tailstock, which is used to support the job while it will be having a large size. So that will be not considering as all the housing mechanism of back gear and driving pulley. Second option B, headstock. So which is a fixed member and all the control units which will be into the headstock. So all the back gears, driving pulley, which are used to control the speed of the spindle of the lathe machines. So B, that will be the headstock. So the answer is headstock. Because in C answer, bed, so bed is generally providing the support to the headstock and tailstock and tool post, and C, none of the above. So according to these four options A, B, C, D, answer B, which is headstock, which is housing for the back gear and driving pulley. Then next question. Spindle is fitted with option A, chucks. Option B, faceplates. Option C, chucks or faceplate. And option D, none of the above. So basically, spindle is fitted with the chucks and faceplate, because both the terms chucks and faceplate, which is used to hold the spindle. So basically, the answer C, chucks or face plates that will be fitted. So that will be the answer. So if you like this, then subscribe and share more the mechanical engineering tutorials. Thank you so much.